Hello everyone. Came up with an idea. I cleaned all the tape off of here as best as I could. This is the way I had my MISTI set up before I thought of the idea of using the We Are memory keeper with the magnet. Because it worked. What I was doing last night worked, but I didn't like it. It wouldn't. I got a double image on one, and I don't want that. I want complete. So what I did is I went and got my We Are memory keeper for foiling that you lay on a die cut machine, and it comes with these magnets. So it's magnetic, and see how long they are? They're great. So I thought, I don't want to get this dirty. I could do it on top, but I don't really want that. So what I'm going to do is lay this up here, and then I'm going to use my magnets, and they won't move. Believe me, I tried it last night because I just got tired of all the gook and the, tape and everything. Now I need to put my cards down here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to run them like this. I'm going to have it, you need to have this as straight as possible. So what I'm going to do is leave enough space in here where I don't have to there we go. Now do that, and I'll put this one right here. And there is a solution to my madness to get this just right. Okay, and see, you just push your card up against this and you have it down and up. Okay, this is 2 instead of 1. And put it right there. Put this magnet right here, and I think I'll even touch it like that. Have it straight. You want to make sure you got it good and straight. So then you just push your card down and over and up and over. So down and over, up and over, up and over. And that way you can re-stamp and know where it is. Now what I have to do is I have to put my stuff back in here. Try to get it straight and level, and this looks pretty good. And that way you don't have to move these, and you can keep them in here unless you're going to use your foiling quill for your die cut machine. And I'm working on these right now, so I'm not going to use it. You could, as far as that goes, before you put your cards on here, you could actually outline it if you wanted to. I don't see any need in that. And I think I'm going to move this. I think I want this over here. And I need a piece of color so I can see. No, that don't work too good. Oh, I can see it now. And I'm going to have it down and over like that. These have been clean. They just been well loved. These two are the children's favorite. They really like it. Okay. All right, that looks pretty good. I want this over slightly. Remember, down and over, up and over, up and over. And it's set. The paper might move, but they won't. I might have to rewash this one because it has been used a lot. Okay, that looks pretty good. I like that. Now, before I get started, I'm going to talk about ink a little bit. When I'm doing sentiments, this versified black onyx is my go-to for all sentiments. If I want to outline with it, it's for watercolor, unless you use your embossing powder with it. And if you do embossing, then you can use any type of ink. It doesn't matter because you emboss it, and that you can use with alcohol, you can use with water, or I do. I've never had a problem with it. But I use this for sentiments and real fine detail. I'll show you one if I can find it. Another little clue is my Creative Bible. I use it for my stamping. When you emboss, it's real wrinkled like. And if you take and put it in a book after you've stamped it and embossed it, it straightens that card out. And I read a blog on that, and I can't remember her name, but if I run across it, I will share it. But you see that? That is done with Versified. But I took and I embossed it. And that way I can do either one. I can do watercolor, which this is Nina cardstock, so it doesn't do watercolor too good. Or I can do my inks with this, my alcohol inks, and it will not bleed because it's been embossed. So that's one way of getting around using your like alcohol markers. Now, that's for that. If you want to, you can get, I keep my Mento in here because they will dry out and you store them upside down. But I use this Memento and it's Tacita Black. And you can stamp this, not emboss it, and use alcohol markers, but you cannot use watercolor with it. It will smear unless you emboss it. I hope this is helping you. I got several questions in Messenger and email this morning. Now for my color, what I do is I use Color Box. And I got these at Michael's when they had I think it was 60% off because they're not cheap. But again, I put them in a plastic bag, and you store these upright. You don't turn them over. The pigment comes up, so you never turn these over. You keep them just like this. But see, you have a lot of colors in here. And I got several of these. So that's my go-to for colored inks, and you can smush it down on the glass mat and pick it up with a brush and paint these also. You can do it that way, and I probably do that with some of these because it would be quick. Now, let's see. I had something else I was going to show you. Versified that, and I talked about if you heat emboss it, you can do any type of whatever you want on it. If you're going to do a lot of watercolor, I would get me a good watercolor paper. You just save yourself a lot of headaches. I've seen people watercolor on Nina cardstock, and you can do it. You just have to be extremely careful. But this stamp is for children. It might be, she told me to do about 10 for children that don't celebrate Christmas. And this is a really cute stamp. I ordered it for them. It says, "In the meadow we can build a snowman." And it's just so cute. I really like it. I think that'll be a nice one for them. You don't want to leave anyone out when you're doing cards like this, when you're going to donate them. So I ordered this stamp and got it in the other day, and it's just really, really cute. And you can see how Versified just stamped that so clean. And you can use any type, you can use colored pencils to do it. You can use watercolor pencils to color them. There's a wide range of different colors, you know, different mediums you can do to color these stamps in. So I think that's about it. What I also did is I took the lid off of my ink, and this is, what is this? This is Ranger Archival ink, and this would be for watercolor. It is waterproof, and but it's Ranger, and it is jet black, and I do use this one too. It's a little aggravating to hold. See, it's a big, when you're doing a lot of inking, it covers a lot. Sorry, I know you can't see this. I'm trying to get each one stamped real good. I'll let that sit on there for a minute, because I'm going to heat emboss these. So I'm using my D-Static, and it also helps not have a lot of fingerprints on it. Anything moist will cause you to, for the embossing powder to stick to it. And all this is basically, it's cornstarch. All right. I talked about last night how you can use a napkin or a towel or anything to rub over the top of these to stamp these real good. Ah, success. It all looks good. Yeah. Can't wait, I have to get this done. This is just clear embossing powder, is all it is. I hope I'm in the frame. I don't know if I am or not. That looks good. Yep, that got him. You can tell because he looks smoky. He doesn't look black anymore. There we go. I better put this back into my, there we go. Put that back in there. And I need to do the little elf with the reindeer. It's time consuming, but the little tricks helps. There we go. His feet. I can see. And see if I wanted to do watercolor or ink blending, either one. I can, because I embossed it. So that's how you can get around. You can use your regular inks and emboss it and use anything you want on it. I don't hear people talk about that very often. Before you start embossing, it's good to just take the paper and fold it and make you a crease and powder it. That way your embossing powder doesn't stick. And I like to close up on each one. Make sure it's good and hot. And you can see it turn shiny. When it's shiny, you stop. There we go. Now he is. And that's nice and shiny. And I'll put it in my Creative Bible and let it, let's see, his face, all of it's shiny. Okay, well, good. I won't make you sit and watch the rest of these, but I just think this is a better way to go. You just go up and over and down and over for these We Are Memory Keeper. I can show you them. This is what it looks like. It's the full quill We Are Memory Keepers. It's coming in handy more than just my die cut machine, because this works really good. No matter how many times you stamp it, it stays in that little, you know, in that area. And you still have your grid mat, and you can keep this nice and clean. No tape involved, so you're keeping tape out of the landfills, which is a plus. I try to do things like that. And it just helps out. It really does work good. So, if you didn't have this big MISTI and you still wanted to do this, you could do another thing, and that's that order some small magnets like this. I got something, hold on a minute. They were at the Dollar Tree, and they're magnets. And you could cut this down to any size that your stamping platform is. And you could, you know, get something like this, and it would work with it. So, you know, either way, I like using this and not these. I use these. I was buying these to put my die cuts on, but now that I got a die cut machine, I hardly ever use it anymore. So, but these magnets would work on any type of stamping platform that you have. So just, but you do have to have these. I like these that I purchased for my MISTI. It's from her, and I like using the corners and all with it, but with this type of stamping, those plastic ones, the polymers, they're real thin, and you can see the, well, maybe you can't, but there's a huge difference between this and this. If I take and I run it like this, see how far that comes up, and it keeps the stamps from getting to your paper. And you won't get a good stamp when you have those polymer stamps. So rubber stamps, not so much. They will work. But this type of stamp, you know, it's just, they're too high up for them. Or in my opinion, they are. I'm going to put that right back. I mean, these magnets are strong. We're talking extremely strong. But I just find this works really, really well. It's not what the We Are Memory Keepers had it for, but believe me, it works great. Well, God bless you. I hope you're having a wonderful week. Keep crafting, and I will talk to you again. Like I said, this is just a quick overview because I had so many emails and messages. Bye for now.